super cheap. You can find this for like $10 at Marshall's, but it's talked about a lot in Frag World, and a lot of perfume connoisseurs give this one a lot of love, even though it's a cheapie. It is top notes of spices, marigold, saffron, citruses. Middle notes are Australian sandalwood, Indian jasmine, rose petals, and then base notes are benzoin and vanilla. And it is mostly a fall and winter scent. Saffron is one of the, it's weird that this is cheap. I don't think they can make synthetic saffron like they can synthetic vanilla, but vanilla and saffron, real vanilla and saffron, are the most expensive notes that you can add to a perfume. So I'm not sure if there's a synthetic saffron in here or what, but it is really good in spite of its name being Adam Levine for her. All right, take a sip and then I will find my list, because I actually put this in my phone notes when I was like a few days after I posted the last video about shows worth binging, and I was trying to keep a few more in my mind, and I was going to bed and I'm like, nope, sat back up and started entering them all in my notes before I forgot any of them. So, folder, I probably put it in this folder. Yes, more TV shows. Okay. Hell on Wheels is so good. Brohannon, his name's Bohannon, but we call the baby Brohannon because we love that show so much. But Bohannon is the main character. Common is in it too, and it's back when they started. It's set when they started making the railroad across the United States, and how brutal that job was, and how it was full of just like overworking and conspiring, you know, different. It's probably based on so much truth. But you know, it had, so there was, slavery was ending, or there was runaway, possibly after slavery, but maybe during. I'm not quite sure on that. So that it is like, you would think, oh, that's not going to be a diverse cast because it's set in like a time where there wasn't a lot of diversity. Wrong. There is a fully diverse workforce working on this railroad, which I did not know that. So that is an interesting element, and I'm glad that, you know, they actually worked all that in realistically. There is, you know, a little bit of love story in there, and one of my fave characters is, I can't think of her name, but she's marked, so she's got like the tattoos right here, and she is a prostitute, which was a common job, you know, what in the railroad industry. They would set up these camps, and it was a pretty common job back then. But her and Common's character end up falling in love, and that's a whole thing. It is a quieter show, so the problem I had with that show is falling asleep, because I would put it on at night, and it's a soothing show, so it's hard to stay awake. So I'll give you that warning. If you're gonna watch it with intent to follow, like, watch it when you're fully awake, because I watched the series from beginning to end probably 10 times before I put all those puzzle pieces together. Okay, let's talk about True Detective. Now, True Detective Season 1, True Detective Season 2, True Detective Season 3 are all totally different. They're hardly connected at all. There's a small connection between 1 and 3. See, True Detective Season 1 is because the case was so intense, how it ruined their personal lives. So, here they are, they're partners, they're trying to build a bond, and then this case, it causes them to get manic, it causes them to be jerks to their own families, it causes them to essentially ruin their family life, turn to like going out with other people, going to the bars to try to like numb themselves to what they're seeing during the day, essentially, I guess. And then things get so out of hand that they end up not liking each other. But it's good, and the acting is phenomenal. You don't necessarily have to start with season 1, but I would. Season 2 was a letdown. So real quickly, from what I remember, season 2 is I can't think of her name right now, but it's Vince Vaughn and the woman who plays, she's the main woman on Yellowstone, Beth. And they're like building a new casino, but I think they're building like a underground casino. They have like underground poker stuff going on, so it's not totally legit. And oh god, I can't even remember. It was a letdown to me, to be honest. Like, watch it if you have nothing else to watch, but you can totally skip over it and go to season 3. I was sad because I love Vince Vaughn, and that show just didn't do it for me. The best season is season 3 with Stephen Dorff and Mahershala Ali. Mahershala Ali is probably one of my favorite actors. Watch season 3 of True Crime or True Detectives, and then also watch like The Green Book. That's another thing he's been in. That's one of my favorite roles he had. But in season 3, Mahershala Ali's character and Stephen Dorff's character are older, so they're current times. I want to say they're like their late 70s, right? And Mahershala Ali's character is being interviewed about the case that broke him, the case that wasn't really fully resolved and that just ruined his life. And he's actually losing he's getting dementia. So his family's growing concerned. He's concerned for himself. He's trying really hard to do this interview and remember things. I can't totally trust, his own memory, but as he's remembering things, he comes to the realization that he really wants to try one more time at figuring this case out. So he goes and knocks on the door of his old partner, Stephen Dorff's character, who's kind of like a bit of a recluse now. He's got like a house out in the middle of nowhere and a bunch of dogs, and that's his life, and he's cool with that. So when Mahershala Ali shows up, he's like, I don't want to do this, like, I'm cool. But he talks him into it. So they start poking their noses around again, and it gets interesting. And that show, that season 3 of the case that they're working on, is about it was 2 missing children originally. The one was found, but the other was not. And the parents of those missing children are played by the guy who's been in some stuff, I can't think of his name, and then the daughter is played by Meryl Streep's daughter, and she plays that character so good. I feel like I talked about the show already, and maybe I did, but I don't care. I need to repeat it. She's like kind of like a selfish drug mom that's never home, but she plays that character like she deserves an award for that character. And so they go digging up this case and trying to solve it again, and they get their hands dirty again, and they got people looking at them funny again, and their bond, and actually had real tears when I watched the season finale and knew that I could not binge that show anymore because I binged all the seasons in like a week. And I was going through whatever I was going through that week where I just couldn't function, and I bonded with that show. But it's about these college age girls in New York. So I would say it's like Sex in the City, but like modern college age. You know, I don't know how to explain it. It's so good. It's like a little bit soapy, a little bit drama, funny. You'll find yourself attached to like one character one season and then another character in the next season, and it will take you back to like dating when you're younger, and you know, your friend groups when you're younger, and all that goes into that. And like, you know, some years you're really close to one friend and then you go years without even hanging out with them again, and then you reconnect, and it's just it's a good show. In spite of what you think of the Lena lady. I put a movie on here. I don't know why there's a movie on here. I need to move that to the other list, but there is a Tom Hardy miniseries called The Take that is so damn good. First of all, Tom Hardy is like my forever celebrity crush. He is a great actor, but he's also, I feel like he's a really good human. He's sober. He had like a bad addiction when he first got into the business, and he's humble, and I don't know, I just love me some Tom Hardy. So The Take, he probably played that character so good because it is about a guy who he's a dirtball. He is a piece of, he gets out of jail, he has a family, he has like a wife or a girlfriend and a kid or two, I don't remember. And so he comes home and sees them, and she's like head over heels with him, even though he's the scum of the earth. She loves him, and he's just like a player. So he gets out of jail, they're all partying, they're doing drugs, they're doing this and that, and she basically just stands by his side, and he continues to get back into crime. He gets back into drugs, he gets back into drinking, he's running around on her, and she just keeps feeling like, well, you know, that's my man and I love him, even though her family's like, what are you doing? He even one night comes home and gets with her sister. When I watched it, it was on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it's still on there, but it's just good. And if that's kind of like one of those things too, where if you think of like the worst person you dated, if you dated when you were, you know, in your early 20s, and like if you dated the bad boy or something, like it will like trigger how much of an idiot you were, even though like go back and hug yourself because you were just reliving your like trauma bonds out. But or you have a friend, you know, somebody that has been in one of those relationships where the guy is just the absolute worst, and or the woman, you know, but in this show it's the guy, and the person just keeps sticking around. So that, and I think I have one more on here. Yes, I do. So this show, a lot of you have probably seen it because it is newer, and it's one season as well, and it is The Queen's Gambit. I had just had my last baby when this show came out, and we sat down and binged it from start to finish on the couch, like holding the baby all day, changing diapers, and you know, eating rubbish, falling asleep, getting back up, but rewinding it, starting it again. But The Queen's Gambit is so good. First of all, the actress Anna something Taylor, my oldest daughter looks just like her. She is such a good actress, and this orphanage, they, for some reason, you know, this is back in the day, they give them a lot of medications. Well, she ends up like overusing the medications and even breaking into the medication room